She works with business entrepreneurs, people who are business leaders, in transforming their own ideas and beliefs about themselves, about what's possible, about their success, about their personal ability, to allow them to flourish, allow them to open, allow them to step into their full creative expression and live the life they've imagined specifically in their business. And she's also a dear friend who we love so much and have such a great connection with. So we brought Vanessa here to speak to you. Vanessa, speak to us about what you do and what you do for your clients and what you have found about the mind-body to be of value in this forum.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I love the mission that you're up to. And the work that I do with business leaders are for individuals who have such a deep passion for the work that they do, and they want to have the biggest influence that they can in the world. So they're committed to creating profits, but they're committed to doing them from a place of honor and doing it from a place that's purpose-driven. And so one of the things that I do in my coaching practice and working with business leaders is understanding how do we have the power of inspiration and influence in the lives of others. Because anybody who's in a leadership role is engaged in enrolling others into a vision as well as into enrolling them to take inspired action. So how do we show up in such a way that we are those kinds of influencers? Well, we cannot be those kinds of influencers and have that kind of impact on others unless we first come from a place of honoring ourselves. And this is where I have seen the mind-body connection be so critical. And so I say, honor yourself and then honor others. So what does this look like? It means that many of the individuals who are the business leaders I'm working with are high achievers. It's so easy to be driven by what we're doing to neglect other areas of our life. And it could be our family life that suffers. It could be our health. It could be something else that ends up being neglected and pushed to the side because we're pushing that drive for profits and we're pushing that drive for moving forward with our mission to the neglect of other areas of our life. This was my personal story. I suffered from this. It was this entire drive that was creating imbalance in my life. And it was a real wake-up call in my life when I had a health issue that ended up being a wake-up call that said, Vanessa, wait a minute, what are you doing? You're putting off to the future state the things that you want to enjoy today. Your very family, which is the why of what's driving you, you keep having them put aside so that you keep saying, until I hit this goal, then I'll rest a little bit more. Until I hit this goal, then I'll take summers off with my kids. And when I had that wake-up call, it made me say, you know what, no, this isn't for future state. This is for enjoying, as you guys stated at the beginning of this event, enjoying in the present moment. So how does a leader honor themselves so that they can honor others? And I believe that the way that we show up in the world creates the biggest influence of people saying, I have to work with you. It also is the premise for my book that I've written called I'll Have What She's Having, is the way that we show up in the world as people say, I don't even know what it is about you, but I want to have what you have. And that's that presence that's deeply grounded, that's honoring of ourselves as a whole person. So when we can come from this place, this is what I call the full body, the anatomy of an influencer, and that mind-body connection for making more profits and for making more influence in the world. So it starts with our mind. It starts with our brain, and it's coming from a place of curiosity for others, of questions that say, okay, how can I serve this person in front of me? What are they up to in the world, and how can I serve and help that? The eyes of an influencer can see beyond who is this person in front of you and say, who are they? How can I get their world and serve them? If they're a potential client, prospect, business partner, how can I get who they really are and what are the dreams and desires and pains that they want to eliminate in their life, and how can I get in their world so much that that's my priority? The mouth of an influencer is one that speaks words of life. The word inspire means to breathe life into you. And I believe that we have the capacity with every word that we speak and in our engagement with others to inspire and breathe life into them. The ears of an influencer are listening beyond what are words that are being said and saying, what is the deeper thing that's going on here? The heart of an influencer is open-hearted and is living open-hearted. The hands of an influencer are saying, how can I serve the person in front of me? The feet of an influencer say, I'm willing to boldly go where no one else has gone. I'm willing to get out of my comfort zone in life because there's people I'm called to serve with my business, in my platform, my message, my product, my service, whatever it is that we might be creating in the world that is for the benefit of others. I'm willing to boldly get out of my comfort zone to serve others in that, and that's the feet of an influencer. And I've recently added the elbow of an influencer, which says, come with me. If this is a partnership, this is something that could serve you, let me guide you, and that's leading the prospect and the person that's in front of us of how they can work further with us. And that's that invitation, that inspired action that we're saying, and this is really engages with the business leaders of how they get increased sales. Is how they have increased profits by not being afraid of asking for this sale because they're coming from a place that's so deeply purpose-driven and service-driven that they want to serve the person in front of them if it's the best benefit to them to take it a next step further.
You know, I'm so glad, Vanessa, that you're really speaking to all of this, because one of the things that Dr. Kim and I have been talking about for a long time in front of audiences, you know, we've really made a big point in connecting physicians and medicine in general with the entrepreneurial community, is the fact that, as you're saying, entrepreneurs are all about serving and creating changes in the world, but it's coming with a really high price. And this is something that doctors, we have absolutely failed to really look into that corner of the world and make that connection. And this is something that it's profound. It's something that, as we continue to see the evolution of something that one of our guests is going to be talking about tonight, Alan Hickman, the heart-centered entrepreneurs, we really need to start paying attention to this. We really need to serve that community because, as you're saying, entrepreneurs are driven with their passion to serve. But if it's coming with the expense of separating the mind and the body and neglecting the health that is needed to be able to be in service, clearly those who are on the other end, on the receiving end, are not going to be able to fully benefit from what is it that they have to give. And those who are the dear ones of those who are the entrepreneurs absolutely suffer from that neglect, as you're saying. So this is really a complete 180 in how is it that we're going to be approaching health. And to the best of our knowledge, physicians have not been doing this. And this is a particular community that we're really committed to serving. So I'm so glad you really get that, because we need to inspire more physicians from the head to the ears to the feet to be able to serve that community globally. So we're committed to that. So that's awesome.
And you also spoke to our words, the power of our words. We created an audio series called The Best Kept Secrets of Medicine, and one of them is training you how to use the power of your words, because they do have creative force and creative power. Every word you speak has a resonance and also has a chemical frequency. There's a chemical reaction initiated in your physical body that sends messages to all of your cells to tell them to be healthy cells with high energy and vibrance, or tell them to be unhealthy cells creating disease and zapping your energy. And you feel it when you speak. Oh my God, I feel like crap. Oh my gosh, nothing works out for me. Oh, I'm so depressed. And when we speak possibility, you know, my body's processing something right now, and I'm going to rest, and I'm going to feel great in due time. You know, who knows how long you're going to feel ill, but when we process things differently and speak to possibility, it creates a resonance in our body that is healing. It creates a resonance in our body that has a different impact on other people. So just like Vanessa was saying, it allows us to impact others in a way that is attractive. And we're going to speak even more fully about that with our next guest, Alan Hickman, in just a minute. But I want to give you the third of the 7 strategies, which is next, is to set your intention daily. And in between segments. And this is how to be the driver of your life and always get where you
want
to go. Your intention is the same power, that same force that ignites a chemical change in your body and begins to create the health, the energy, the inner chemistry, and then the outer result. Because all of your inner chemistry drives all of your actions and behaviors. And just like Anat was speaking to, it's our inner belief system, our inner awareness that creates that template in your neurology that drives every action and behavior, every word you speak and how you say it. That has it land in a way that has impact and people want to follow you, or has it land in a way where you're not getting the result you want. So the segments is, you have a segment, first thing in the morning segment while you're getting ready. What's your intention for that? How do you want to feel? What kind of day are you beginning? We do this every day. You've got your work
getting out of
segment.
bed.
Yeah, you've got your work segment. You've got maybe date at night, or you're going to meet somebody in a meeting. What is the ideal outcome that you want? And create that intention before you step in and take action.
And I'll share a really brief anecdote. I was meeting with a dear friend of mine who is one of the top neurosurgeons in oncological surgery, neurosurgery in the country. And he said to me the following words over the weekend. He said, Mario, in medicine, what we're doing is we're chasing ants with bulldozers. That's a really powerful image. A lot of the things that we can create from the health standpoint, which translate into our thinking and the physiology, the chemistry that gets generated inside our bodies, can be completely modulated and impacted by the things that we're talking about here. And as we continue to evolve in elevating global health, we'll see more and more that some of the techniques that we're really sharing here with this panel of experts are the ones that will be able to create health for the 85% of the population in our country, over 200 million people in America alone, who are going to physicians every year seeking advice for some sort of ailment. However, no organic causes are being discovered. And yet, people are being labeled with diagnosis and they're being treated pharmacologically for things that we cannot put our finger on. However, this conversation that we're having with this expert panel and this mega hangout, it's really addressing how can we support, how can we impact the health and lives of over 200 million people every single year.
And we wanted Vanessa to speak a little bit more to the power of coaching. We've hired coaches, and it has transformed our life immensely. People who are in our coaching program have had incredible results. They're investing themselves so richly because they're really ready for a massive transformation. Typically, the people who come to work with us, they'll show up in my office and say, I'm a train wreck. The people who have worked with us in coaching are like, I've had it. I will do whatever I need to do to get myself in gear and aligned with what I want. Vanessa, why don't you speak a little bit to what the power of coaching is that you've seen, and having someone who can see things you don't see for yourself?
There's one thing to have transformation by having gone to a workshop, by having heard an amazing speaker, by having read an amazing book. But the problem is that we fall into our default patterns of showing up and doing life and doing business the way that we're accustomed to. And so the power of hiring a coach for me was to say, Vanessa, together, let's create a new default way of showing up in the world. On my own, I was not doing it. I couldn't do it alone. So with a coach that is a permanent part of my life, and I have several coaches, I will not do without one because it creates a new way of being. It was so critical for me that in the success that I had had in my business, one of the companies that I represented, I earned a luxury car because of the sales accomplishments that we had had. And I was used to that. I wanted to go back to create a new luxury car, and I said, you know what? This is so important to me to hire this coach. I put aside that desire for my luxury car and instead went on eBay and got a minivan for $6,000 and instead invested what I would have put in toward a luxury car into a coach. And it has transformed my life. I have launched a purpose and passion-driven business based on it. I have made other massive changes, created amazing wealth, and had tremendous changes in my personal life with my spouse and with my kids, really committed to creating what I want personally and professionally. And my arsenal of a coach team has helped that become a reality for me. That's how much I believe in the power of coaching.
That's incredible.
That's awesome.
We really applaud you for doing that and reaching out. Sometimes people want to go it alone. We've seen that, and even
Doesn't work.
sometimes I'll resist getting that support. And every time I do, it ignites my life. Like, it's incredible what I've been able to do with the support of a coach. And we've actually created an offer for everyone on this call where you will be able to go forward with coaching with our team. We have a team of amazing coaches that we've handpicked who people have told us that I got results within 2 minutes of working with your coach that I didn't get in years of working in physical therapy and other kinds of therapy and working on my business and doing the things to get the results that were supposed to come, that they'd immediately ignite change in their body through using this type of coaching. So we're really excited to offer that.